For nearly a century, Porsche built its reputation on mechanical perfection. Their iconic combustion engines and precise German engineering created a lineage that defined the sports car. That cultural heritage translated directly into immense financial stability. Prior to 2025, Porsche operated as one of the most consistently profitable automakers on Earth. The Stuttgart assembly lines were a masterclass in manufacturing. They churned out highly coveted vehicles with massive profit margins, functioning like a highly calibrated, reliable engine for generating cash. After years of steady growth, Porsche's operating profit fell off a cliff, collapsing by 99% in the 2025 fiscal year. The sheer velocity is staggering. This near-total wipeout happened in just 9 months. How does an ultra-premium, deeply entrenched legacy brand lose virtually all of its operating profit in less than a year? The crisis began internally with a highly funded corporate pivot that we can call the electric trap. Leadership committed to replacing their combustion fleet with battery-powered vehicles to secure their future. Building an electric vehicle architecture from scratch requires massive capital. Automakers have to spend billions up front to design new chassis, secure battery minerals, and write complex software layers. To make this happen, Porsche physically overhauled its operations. They shifted vast amounts of money and engineering talent away from their highly profitable legacy models and directed them into unproven EV production lines. But the execution stumbled. The transition was bogged down by software delays and logistical inefficiencies, which rapidly burned through the company's cash reserves. They drained their financial safety net to force an incredibly expensive transition. This sunk cost left the company entirely exposed to external market shocks exactly when they had the least amount of liquidity. To understand those external shocks, we have to look to China. For years, the Chinese luxury market provided the massive revenue surpluses that Western automakers used to fund their research and development back in Europe. Then, the Chinese economy cooled. A sharp macroeconomic slump in 2025 severely suppressed high-end consumer spending, and the easy sales abruptly stopped. Even as China expanded its own domestic infrastructure for electric vehicles, buyers weren't spending their money on imported luxury badges. The specific revenue streams meant to subsidize Porsche's expensive EV research in Germany simply vanished. The company was caught in a geographic vice. They were bleeding capital internally on delayed production lines in Europe, while starving for revenue externally in their most important market. And when Chinese consumers did buy high-end electric vehicles, they were looking elsewhere. A highly advanced breed of local competitors had emerged, beating legacy brands at their own game. Companies like Xiaomi, giants traditionally known for consumer electronics, successfully crossed over into automotive manufacturing. These new entrants approached the vehicle as a heavily integrated, rolling tech ecosystem. This perspective allowed them to pivot faster and align with changing consumer tastes more effectively than a traditional manufacturer. Luxury to a modern buyer now meant advanced AI assistance, flawless software parity, and seamless integration with the smartphone already in their pocket. While Porsche was struggling to manufacture a basic electric vehicle, competitors like Xiaomi were releasing supercomputers on wheels. The incredibly expensive EVs Porsche had staked its future on were functionally obsolete before they even gained traction. The electric trap was now fully sprung. This chart illustrates the fatal convergence. Extreme internal R&D costs collided with collapsed regional demand and vastly superior local technology. This 99% drop reflects the brutal mathematical reality of being simultaneously outpriced and out-innovated in the world's most critical market. Porsche's 2025 collapse serves as a terrifying warning sign for the entire legacy auto industry. The rules of the global market have changed. A century of mechanical perfection means absolutely nothing if a brand fails the modern software and battery test. In the modern tech era, the line between an unstoppable corporate titan and an obsolete brand is perilously thin, and crossing it only takes 9 months.